This is part 2 of the Heirloom Mystery Crochet Cowl for Knit and Knot yarn. In this one we're going to be doing some cabling, and you can see I already have the first section here completed on my sample one. I'm only doing one repeat for the first week. You should have about twice that, and it'll be about 3 inches, 2 or 3 inches high already. So I have slip stitch joined right here and chain 1, and I've got my marker in the last stitch of the round, so I know where I am headed. For this portion I also like to use a stitch marker for the first stitch of the round, just to make sure it's less confusing. So on row 1 here it says we're going to single crochet into the next 3 stitches. When I get my first one on there, I'm going to go ahead and put the stitch marker through that first one. You can see there's kind of a gap there, so when you're working in the last stitch and then you slip stitch together, it'll kind of cinch it together and join. Okay, so that was my first single crochet, 2, 3, and then here we start the cabling. You're going to skip 1 stitch, and then you're going to front post double crochet around the stem of the next stitch. So double crochet, we yarn over, and we're going to go around the post. So we come in from behind and just go through like that, yarn over, come back out, and then finish it just like a regular double crochet. So that gives you a kind of 3-dimensional look right there. Then we're going to front post double crochet around the stem of the skipped stitch. So here's the skipped stitch, and we're going to go behind that one from right to left, double crochet. This will give us kind of a crisscross look, which is actually going to be the beginning of our diamond here. So now we're going to continue, and a good way to make sure you're skipping the right number of stitches when you start your next single crochet is you can actually look behind here and you can see the skipped stitches. It's kind of interesting. So you can see there's one there, and we've got one here. So there's 1, 2, there's your V stitch. 1 V stitch, 2 V stitches. Because they're in the front, we're not going to work those 2. So my single crochet, next single crochet is going to go right here. Oops. And we are doing 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're doing another cable. So now we're skipping again, so we skip this one, go around the post of this one, and then we're going to go around the post with a double crochet of the one we just skipped again. It's going to create that kind of crisscross look. Make sure we skip 2, 1, 2, and then go in the third one there and do 6 more single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double crochet in the front post, double crochet in the skipped front post, double check again, 1, 2, start single crocheting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you will continue this around. Skip 1, front post, double crochet, 1, 2, 3. This is your first single, and then the directions say until the last 3 stitches. So wherever you are at the repeat, when you get to the last 3 stitches, single crochet. So we're going to do 1, 2, and then 3, which makes sense because this one has my marker in it. So that should be it. I'm going to remove that marker and move it up so that is my new end of round when I start the next row, and then we're going to slip stitch into where I have my first marker for the first stitch, slip stitch in there, and then chain 1, and we're ready to do the second row. Okay, row 2, we've slip stitch joined, chain 1, and then we're just going to follow it step by step here. So 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. We'll do 1 right in where that marker is, and then immediately we're going to move that up to our first, first stitch there. So we've got our first stitch, we've got our last stitch marked. Okay, 1 single crochet in each of the first 2 stitches, so 1, 2, and then we're going to skip 1 stitch, which is this one right here. We're going to skip this one and then do a front post double crochet around the stem of the next one. So here's the next stitch, and we're going to do the front post double crochet around this one. This one's a little tricky because it's behind, so you're going to kind of reveal it. Put your hook behind there, yarn over, come back through and finish your double crochet. Now this is a little different too because we're moving it. We're not just twisting it like the row before. So what we're doing when we're moving this to the right, we've skipped that stitch and we've moved it over, but now we've got to do one behind. Here's the stitch you just made in the front post, and to its right is the one you've skipped, and the directions say go into this skipped one and do a single crochet. That essentially is your cable. That's how you're switching the stitches here, and it may look a little funny right now, but it's gonna line up real nice soon. Okay, so that's to the right. Now we're going to do a cable to the left, which means we're going to skip the next stitch, not this one, we already worked that one, so we're going to skip this one and single crochet into that one. So way over here, we're going to single crochet into that one, and then we're going to do a front post double crochet onto the one that we skipped. So in the front here, we're going to go around this one from right to left behind there, yarn over, and then finish your double crochet. Okay. Now you're going to go ahead and in the next 4 stitches do single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that should put you right next to your next cable here. So you skip this stitch right here, and we're going to cable around this one. This one's a little bit tricky, remember, because we got to go behind, kind of expose that one, so go behind just that post, yarn over, come back out and finish your double crochet. And because we're cabling it, because we're moving stitches, we've got to make sure we do that one behind. So we go into this stitch behind, this one's the cable, we ignore that one, we've already worked it. So we single crochet into this one, and now we do it the other way, we cable to the left. So we're going to skip this stitch and single crochet into this one way over here, and then front post double crochet into the one we skipped. We're moving that one over to the left, and you can see they're kind of spreading apart. That's what we want. If you're a little confused at what stitch you're supposed to be into, you can kind of pull and tug and see this one's moving. So I've already worked that stitch. So my next stitch is going to be right here. This is my single crochet 4. And here we are again right there. We're going to skip this one. Front post double crochet under this one. Single crochet behind into the skipped stitch, skip the next stitch, single crochet, and then front post into the skipped stitch. Okay, worked that one. We're going to go ahead 4 more single crochet, 2, 3, 4. Here we are again. So we're going to skip that one and double crochet into the front post. This one, go behind, single crochet, skip this one, single crochet, front post double into the skipped one, worked this one. Okay, and then directions say ending with 1 single crochet in the last 2 stitches. So 1 single crochet and 2 single crochets. Okay, which is perfect because that puts us in our last stitch here. So I'm going to move my stitch marker up, and that is now my last stitch of the round. And then we're going to slip right into this first one and take it all the way through, slip stitch join, and that'll take us to round 3. Row 3, we have slip stitch joined, and we're going to chain 1. We're going to begin just with 1 single crochet, so that goes in this first stitch marker here, and we're going to move this immediately up again so that we know this is the first. That's where we're going to join when we get to the end of this row. Okay, so 1 single crochet, we did that. We're going to skip 1 stitch and then front post double crochet around the stem of the next stitch. So we did this in the last row. We're just kind of moving it over now. And then go behind, single crochet. We've cabled that one to the right again. Now you're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. It's not this one, we've already worked this post, so you skip that one, just ignore it. So 1, 2 would be right here. 1, 2, and then we're going to cable to the left. So we're going to skip this stitch, single crochet here, and then double crochet around the skipped post. Okay, and we worked this stitch, so we're just going to do 2 in the middle here. 1, 2, skip this one, double around the next one, single crochet behind into the skip stitch, and 2 single crochets. This is going to be the middle of the diamond here. You can start to kind of see it. We're going to cable left here, skip 1, single crochet, and then double into the post of the skipped one. 2 single crochets in between here. Skip this one, front post, single behind, 2 in the middle. So remember, we just ignore this one, we've already worked it. 1, 2, cable to the left here, so we skip this one, go in the following one, single, and then double around the post of the skipped one. We're going to do this all the way around again. So 2 in between, skip 1, cable, bring that cable to the right, go behind, single crochet, 2 in the middle of the diamond here, 2, skip that one, single crochet over here to the left, front post into the skipped one, ending with 1 single crochet. So that would go in that final slip, in that final stitch there, and then we immediately move that marker up so we know that's the last one. And then when we slip stitch join, go into the first one and pull it all the way through. Okay, row 4, I have slip stitch joined here, and I'm going to chain 1. Now this one, we don't do a single crochet right away. We're actually just going to cable to the right here, and the first thing we do is a front post double crochet, and then we go behind where that marker is into that first stitch, and we've just cabled that. This marker up. So the first one is going to be that cable now. That's going to go in that first stitch there. Okay, let's see. Now we have a single crochet in the next 4, so ignore this one. See, the post is already worked. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Our cabling left here, so we're going to skip this one, single crochet in the next one, come back, front post double around that skipped one, and then immediately we jump into a right cable here. So we're do the cable, and then we go behind and single crochet in that skipped stitch. So ignore this one, we've already worked in that cable. We've got 4 single crochets in the middle here, and then we're on a cable left, so we skip one, single crochet into that one, and then double into that front post of this skipped one, and then immediately go into the right cable here, so we skip that one, front post double, single crochet behind, 4 single crochets in the center here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're on a cable left, so we skip this stitch, single crochet into the next one, double into the post of the skipped stitch, and then we immediately cable right, so we skip this one, double into this post in the front, single crochet behind, ignore this one, we've already worked it, 4 in the middle here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see, got one more cable here to the left, so we're going to skip this stitch, work into that last markered stitch, and then go back and cable into that front post. And because this is our last stitch, we move the marker up to that one, to the cabled stitch, and that's the last one of the round. And to join, we go into the first one, pull it all the way through, and there you go. Row 5. Row 5 is a little tricky because we're going to be doing a cable right in the middle of our join rows here, so just kind of follow the directions step by step and I'll take you through too. So we start with, of course, a chain 1 from the previous, and then we're going to front post double crochet in the previous stitch. So we're actually going to cross back, and that is going to be our first stitch here. It's working around that previous front post. So we're going to move the marker, it's our first stitch marker, move it up here into this stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. So that one counted for the first stitch here, which is why we moved the marker, so we're going to ignore that one, and we're going to keep working across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to be cross cabling just like we did in the first row. So we're going to cable, skip this one first and cable over from the left to the right. So double crochet in this front post, and then we're going to come back and double crochet in the skipped front post. And if you want to kind of check where you start single crocheting here, it's easy to kind of look in the back. You can see the 2 skipped stitches right there. So you know you skip the 1 and the 2, and that's where it twists in the front. And then that 3rd one there is where you're going to start single crocheting. So we're going to go in there and do our 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, skip 1, front post, double crochet, and then we're going to do another front post into the skipped stitch. So we've just created a nice twist there. You can see it a little bit better on the previous one, just like at the beginning. I'm going to check behind for those 2 stitches, 1, 2, and then single crochet into that 3rd one there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, skip 1, double crochet in the front post, and then double crochet in the skipped post. Skip 1, 2, and then in the 3rd one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here's where it's a little bit confusing again because we've got to finish the half of one we started. So we're going to end with skipping 1 stitch. So you essentially skip that stitch, and then you front post double crochet around the stem of the next one. And since you can see this left one is in the front, we're actually going to go under this one to make it look the same as all the other ones. So we're going to go under, and what we're doing here is we're catching the stem of this row. So we're catching that one underneath and going around and double crocheting. So essentially that one's going to go right under that one. And this is our last stitch of the round, so we move our marker up and we're going to slip stitch to join right into that first one. And that is row 5. Okay, so end of row 5, we've slip stitched, we're going to chain 1. Beginning of row 6, we're going to skip 1 stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in the next one, and then front post double crochet around the previous one. So we're bringing that one coming up from the right, we're bringing that up to the left. Okay, once I've got those 2 on there, I'm going to move my marker just because it's a little bit easier to see that that first one is my first stitch there, that the one that I single crocheted. So that is my first one. Okay, and I kind of pull on it and I see that this one's already worked. So now I single crochet in each of the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to skip a stitch, front post double around the stem of the next one, skip this one, front post double around the stem, this one's behind, so you're going to have to kind of dig it out, yarn over, come back through to finish it, then come in behind and do your single crochet, so it gets that cable, come over to the right. Let's see. Now we're going to cable to the left immediately here, so ignore this one, it's already worked. We skip this stitch, single crochet into this one, and then front post into the skipped one. So then we've cabled over to the left. We've worked this stitch, so we're going to single crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip this one, cable the next one, it's underneath again. I'm going to kind of pull it out here, yarn over, and then do a single behind, And then we've already worked this one. We're going to skip this one, single crochet in the next one, and front post around that skipped one. So you can start to see that we're closing the diamond here and we're kind of creating that gap in between. Single crochet 4 in between, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a stitch, go underneath, pull out that one, yarn over, come back through, finish your double crochet, come behind and do that skip stitch. Then we're going to skip the next one, single crochet in the following, and then come back and do your double crochet on that front post. 4 more singles in the middle of this diamond here. We'll do this all the way around. When you get to the end here, skip this one, go in that front post, and then your last stitch is going to be behind, and that's where your stitch marker is going to go to, right into that last stitch there, so that one that you just did behind. And then we're going to go into the first one, pull it all the way through, slip stitch together. Okay, row 7, we've slip stitch joined and chained 1. We're going to single crochet in the first one, which is where our marker is still. And then we're going to immediately move our marker up to that first stitch up here. Okay, skip 1 stitch, single crochet into next stitch, skip 1, single crochet. Then we're going to front post double crochet around the stem of the skip stitch. So we're left cabling here. Single crochet in each of the next 2. So we've already used this one, so this one would be the next 1, 2, skip 1 stitch, front post double crochet around the stem of the next stitch. So here we are. And then 1 single crochet in the skipped stitch, which is behind here again. I've already worked this stitch, so we're going to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. I'm going to cable to the left here, skip this stitch, single crochet in the next one, front post double in the skipped stitch. We worked this one, you can kind of pull on it and see. Single crochet in the next 2 stitches. We're going to continue in this way around, so skip this one, front post double crochet, single crochet behind, 2 single crochets, left cable here, so skip 1, single crochet, front post double, 2 single crochets, 1, 2, skip 1, front post double, 1 single crochet behind, that moves us to the right, 2 single crochets in the middle here, going to move to the left, so skip, and then 1 single, and then do your double in the skipped stitch around the post, 2 singles, skip 1, front post double, 1 single behind, and then we're at the last stitch, which the pattern says repeat until the last stitch, so we are here and it says single crochet 1, so we're going to single crochet in that last one, move our marker up to this one, and then we're going to join to the first one, so go in, yarn over, pull all the way through, chain 1. Row 8, 2 single crochets. So the first one's going to go in this first marker right here, and we're going to move the marker immediately up. So we know this is our first stitch, so we've got our first and our last stitch marked. So 2 single crochets. So that was 1, here's 2, skip 1 stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, front post double crochet around the stem of the skip stitch, skip 1 stitch, front post double crochet around the stem of the next stitch, 1 single crochet in the skip stitch, so that's behind again. So we're doing a left cable and a right cable, and then we have 1 single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches, so we're keeping that center piece here. So ignore this one, we've already worked the post. So this would be our first one here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to cable this one to the left, skip this one, work a single crochet over here, double in the skipped post, and then immediately again, since we're kind of joining them, as you can see from this one, we're going to immediately skip that one and work into the post of this one. Go behind, single crochet in that skipped one. We've already worked this one, so single crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, cabling to the left, so we're going to skip this one, single crochet here, front post in the skipped stitch, and then skip the next stitch, front post in this one, single crochet behind. We've already worked this one, 4 in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip this one, work a single right here, and front post double in the skipped stitch, skip this one. You're going to continue around this way till you get to your last 2 stitches. We worked this one, and I believe these would be the last 2. You heard my stitch marker drop right there, so we're just going to slip that in. That's the disadvantage if you don't snap it in every time, but I just prefer it because it's a little bit faster. So we're going to single crochet the last 2, and as I do my last one there, I'm going to move my stitch marker up. So that is my last stitch, and then I'm going to join it to the first one, yarn over and pull through all the way, chain 1, and we are ready for row 9.
Okay.
Row 9 is the same as row 1. You can see that we've already completed the diamond stitch pattern. We're just going to do the same kind of cabling that we did at the beginning to even it out here. So we're going to go back to row 1. It says chain 1, we've got that. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, and that's our first one again. We're going to move the stitch marker. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go a little bit faster since we've done row 1 already, so it's the same thing. Skip 1 stitch, front post double around this one, and then front post double around the one you skipped. So you're just cabling those 2 together, and then you're single crocheting in between. Again, if you want to know kind of where you are, you can look at the back 2 stitches here, 1, 2, and then you'll start in that 3rd one there. That would be your first one for in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, We're going to cable again, so skip one, front post double, and then front post double around the skipped one. Okay, and I've skipped. Sometimes it's hard to tell here. We got 1, 2. So here's my third one right here. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skip one, front post, and go back and front post around the skipped one. Look behind again. 1, 2, 3. So this would be the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skip one. Front post. Oops, we're stuck in the stitch marker. And then front post in the skipped stitch. Double check behind again. 1, 2, and then this would be so. And then of course it says single crochet. Let's see, repeat around until the last 3. So we've got 3. That's where we are. Single crochet in each of the last 3. So that's perfect. We came out right. Ooh, there goes my stitch marker. Whee! Okay, so that was the last stitch. Oop. We're still going to move the marker because we're going to need to know what that last stitch is for next week for the next part of the pattern. We're going to slip stitch to the beginning stitch here, yarn over and pull all the way through, and this will complete the pattern. So you should have essentially a diamond pattern that is cabled all the way around. And it doesn't matter what size cowl you did, this is what it should look like all the way around. These diamonds should continue all the way around. Looks like I'm going to have a nice boot cuff when I'm done here with my little sample. Alright, good job. If you have any questions, of course you can comment through our website. We've got a comment box. Or you can email through our contact information there too.